Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So in my last video, I shared with you guys that I converted my Santa Cruz Bronson V3 into a mullet bike. I want to kind of give you guys my thoughts now that I've ridden it a good bit, what I think about it. Was it worth the money? Was it worth the upgrade? And I know I had one of you guys that mentioned in my last video, but why? Why would you want to make this upgrade? And I probably share the same POV for anyone who is in the same situation that's wanting to do a mullet bike. We probably have the same reasonings. But for me, I love a 27.5 bike. I love the wheel size. It is such a playful bike. I find myself just kind of bouncing and pogoing sometimes along trails, and it's just a blast to ride. It's a very, very playful bike, very maneuverable, and I've always loved it. But there are a lot of pros to a 29er, a full-blown 29er, and for me, the biggest ones that stand out is you can corner at a higher rate of speed and you just feel very planted on the bike. And that was something that was an immediate thing that I noticed, which was really just a night and day difference for me. Also, rock gardens and things like that with a 29er, you just kind of float over that stuff. It smooths out the ride. You find yourself just floating over a lot of stuff. But for me, the biggest con for a 29er is it just feels like a really, really big bike, which I do not like at all. Not only that, I'm tall, so if I have to get behind the seat, which a lot of people know, you kind of get a little bit of butt buzz. My main thing is not even that, it's just it feels like a really big bike that I'm riding and I don't like the feeling. So that's why I decided to go with a mullet setup, because you really do get the best of both worlds. You still have that playfulness because you have the 27.5-inch wheel in the rear, and you have that 29er in the front where you're floating over stuff. You feel a lot more stable, cornering and things like that. So you kind of get, you know, both pros of both bikes, which is really cool. So let's talk about my first thoughts. Like when I got on this bike, what was I feeling? Was it foreign to me? So when I first got on this bike and started riding it, it really felt like my bike. It felt the same. I didn't feel like the geometry was all out of whack, that it felt funky or anything like that. And that's largely due to my bike having a flip chip, which allows me to kind of reconfigure the geometry of the bike and equal it out with me putting that 29er on the front. So getting on the bike, everything pretty much felt the same. Again, I think I mentioned this, my bike shop made sure to adjust everything on my bike. So it was pretty much just like I had it when I had just my full 27.5 setup, because they wanted it to feel the same for me, which I felt like it did. So I ended up taking it on one of my favorite trails in North Georgia, and that is Bull Mountain, True Bull. I love this trail. It's about a 6-mile climb up, so I thought I would have a really good understanding of how this bike climbs, because that's a pretty decent climb, where it has a lot of rocks and roots as you're climbing. So to be 100% transparent, there was a little bit of a difference I could tell with climbing. It wasn't anything super crazy or anything like that, but with this setup, I definitely felt like it was a teeny bit harder climbing with it. And that could also be largely due to I've had so much going on. I haven't had a lot of time on my bike recently, so I could just be a little out of shape slightly, so that could have something to do with it. I don't know, I'll have to update you guys again. It wasn't a super noticeable difference, so I don't know. It could be those two things. One of my favorite trails over on Bull is Bear Hair. I love riding that. It's a really fun downhill where it's very chunky, rooty, rocky, just a really, really fun kind of steepish downhill section on Bull. So I thought it'd be the perfect trail for me to try my mullet setup out. Definitely still want to go to Pisgah to try it out there as well, but I thought just out of the gate, this would be a great trail for me to try it on. One of the big things that I noticed right off the bat was I was going through some sections that I normally maybe wouldn't have gone as fast through, and that was because of the front wheel. It would float over stuff, so therefore I was going a little bit faster. The back wheel, I don't want to say it felt like it was getting hung up. It just felt a little more harsh back there. I could feel it, that wheel just kind of bashing things. Again, not the end of the world. But anyways, that's pretty much my experience with the mullet. I am very happy. I definitely still want to ride it some more. I really want to find out if I am just like slightly out of shape or if it is a little bit harder to climb on. But I'm definitely looking forward to riding it more, taking it on some more trails, some more aggressive trails to see how it handles. But I will keep you guys posted. Definitely think it was worth it. It made the bike a lot more aggressive. So overall, I'm really happy with it. All right, you guys be safe. Okay, Lacey, you wanna go behind? Behind. That's a good dog. On this way. to run. Babe, can I get in front? Hardy's a little slow.
Hardy, move.
No offense, bud. Tree. Whew. Am I? No. We're slowing it down now. The puppies are really, really hot. It's almost, I think, to the end of trail dog riding. Come on, guys. But yeah, it's almost time for them to stop riding with us because of the heat now, this summer notice. It's a little too hot out here. It's a little dangerous. Behind, that's an excellent girl, Lacey. You're a very good dog. Run, Hardy, run! Hardy, behind. Hardy's still winning.